Hello, good morning. I am Enoch Nidodu, student number GH1020706. Okay, so first of all, I'd like to tell you what I did. I created a hospital management system web application, and this is generally or specifically a back-end web application. Yeah, and I created these to enable hospital manage their patients and doctors and also their diagnosis and insurances very smoothly. We have various and several applications that are already doing this, but most of them, let me say, don't have health insurance integrated. So I took the initiative with the development of a new web app that will have the health insurance inclusive. So therefore, first of all, this project really demonstrates how the web application itself works. I initially did these various. Okay, before I say that, I think the environment of which I use was the IntelliJ from JetJetBox. So first of all, I opened the system and I created the various Java codes that will enable the system or the application work successfully. I started by creating the various entities. That's the appointments, that's the doctors, patient, appointment, their roles, users, and other things that will enable the web app work successfully. So these are the various appointments that I have that will enable doctors be able patients to book appointment or yeah. And this is the doctor Java that I created to enable identify doctors, and this is for patients as well. And I literally took the initiative to add health insurance to have a successful one. And these things were able to work, will be able to work if I only have the dependencies correctly integrated. So these are the various dependencies that I used that I integrated into my system to have a successful assignment. Yeah, so this is what I have. And also these are the repositories of the various Java codes that I created, and also their services are also here. Yeah, I think I have them also here, the doctor service and what they all do, and the model itself. I have everything in pack. So for us to be sure the system is actually working and have a successful back end, um, before that, I think when I was creating this, I also downloaded my workspace bench, that's my SQL workbench, which will enable or link this environment to my SQL. Since I already have the dependencies here, it will directly link into my SQL for me to be able to see the digital or the facial expression, let me say the tabular system itself from the SQL. So once I create it here, it works on the my workbench of my SQL workbench over there. Yeah. So this is what I created variously, and it was actually linked to my workbench, which I have over here. So you can check with the schemas, the hospital data base itself. It's here. Then these are the tables, the various tables that I have, the appointments, like I mentioned. I have doctors, health insurance, patients, roles, and everything. I have everything here. Therefore, they are linked to whatever I created in the IntelliJ. Yeah, so you can see everything on my SQL workbench, which is very successful. So after doing this, I have to make sure this thing is actually working. What do I do? Then I have to use either a normal work engine, that's the either Google, Mozilla, or anything. For me to be sure this thing is actually working before I do that, I downloaded the Postman to check my work, and I did the various checks and it worked successfully. I created the patient IDs over here, which I checked it worked. These are the two patients that I earlier on created. After that, I created their appointment and it works. So you can see a doctor is linked to a patient, and the patient have their own date for appointment for checkup. Later, I tried to also make sure I linked a patient's to a health insurance, which is the most important thing that was important to me because most of the systems don't have it. So I created one to add it to it. You can see this is the patient that I created, and I linked the patient's health insurance. This is a new patient. So for us to be sure that this thing is actually working, I'm going to create a new patient's ID, then I'll link it to the insurance, which is what I am interested in doing right now. So let me see, patient number 4. Well, this is body row. Then let me change the patient's. No, before that, let me just go with the patients first. Okay, let me clear this first. Then before I rename the patients, let me just create just a normal patients. Yeah. Okay, this one patient that I already have. Let me change the details of these patients. Let me say Samuel answer. Yeah. So let me say his email address is sam at fire.com. Yeah. Then his phone number is 03758, so something just to replace it. And I think his house address I used let me see, let me use township townsland. Okay, this is not a town actually, but I just created for assignment purpose. So this is what I created, and after that, let me see the response that I'll get for this patient. And this is the patient that I got, and the patient's ID is patient ID number 5. So now the next is to link the health insurance to that particular patient. Therefore, patient ID number 5. So patient ID number 5, the body row. Then now I think I need to put the health insurance to it. Okay, so this actually, let me see, I just put just normal health insurance. I have something here. Let me see, the provider is called. Yes, I created these details down on a notebook, of which I just copied to get an easy writing here. So let me see, the person uses Genesis Gens. Okay, Gens Insurance. Let's see, Gens Insurance. That's what the person used. Okay, let me see, Gens Ins. Okay, so his ID should be Ins. Let me correct it. Let me see, J Ins 45 450 460. Yeah, then insurance is covered. So when I have these, as he says, let me just link, and immediately I post, it will definitely connect to the patient. So this is patient's ID number connected to the health insurance of that particular patient. So this is what I was able to do for today. Thank you very much, and the rest of the submission will be on my PDF. Thank you.